fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Cube Show here, and now. Whenever we last left off with this series, Deku, a few things have happened with him. Now, Deku sat down and had a cup of coffee with his father, discovering exactly how much of a bad idea that was. Especially because of one thing. Deku discovered his father is quite the man whore. Deku's also discovered there's a possibility that he might have a little brother or a little sister out there. And probably just not one or two. Probably a few. Now, this piled on with Deku's already bad opinion on Hisashi did not make things any better. Deku, he does know Hisashi, he is telling the truth. He is sick and he is dying. But that's just the problem. If he's come here now, then why all of a sudden? He's got a change of heart now because he doesn't got much time left. He's sat and think, and now he feels like shit about everything he's done. He's decided to come and try to talk to the most successful one of his possible children to get help. Now, Deku, he is thinking about this, since after that talk, Deku, he did go back to Mirko's apartment, where he did help Mirko, and the two, they worked out their frustrations with each other. Now, with that being said, some unsavory individuals, they've also, at least, finally reverse engineered Deku's power cell prototype. And they're quite curious to see what will happen whenever it does make a boom or a splash in the market. Now, with that being said, Deku, he does currently lie there in Mirko's bed with her. She's currently wrapped up in his arms, and he's just trying to think. The two, they fell asleep after last night, and, well, he's just trying to think. Mirko, she's talking about how he needs to spend more time with his dad. He might be a piece of shit, as he's quoted. However, he is still family, albeit estranged. So, what should he really do? The idea of possibly having siblings? Bakugo, yeah, he's his little brother. But this idea sort of just scared Deku. The two, they share a father, Masuro. And what if he does find somebody who is the son or daughter of Hisashi? He's an actual big brother then. The idea of trying to talk to somebody who could possibly be close to his age and know that they're blood related, it's sort of off-putting to Deku. They're a stranger, but they're family. The same feeling he has towards Hisashi. Now, Deku, he actually is going to try to get his arm out from underneath Mirko, as he does go to roll out of bed and go to stand up, walking into the bathroom and going to at least warm up the shower. Now, as Deku does do that, he does quickly walk into the kitchen and go to at least brew a pot of coffee. And as he does walk back into the room, he does hop into the shower and quickly wash himself. Him then heading back into the kitchen, getting a cup of coffee, and then going to leave. After getting dressed, and, well, fixing his hair. Now, there is actually the drive there, where Deku, he does start to think a bit more. Everything's been changing so fast. He's gotten the money for his investments. He's gotten projects actually out there. his name, once it hit the market, it was worth gold. And then there's the fact that he's making more money. The 200 million, it almost is barely a third of what he's made profits of. And then there's the fact that even then, Mirko, the two meeting, dating, and being here in their relationship, Deku being able to actually spend more time with his mother and his family, and Hisashi, everything just seems so strange to him. This year's moved kind of fast, and he does just try to think about it. It's just been sort of crazy. It could all probably be traced back to that one day. If Mirko never saved his invention, if Rumi never stopped that guy from getting away, all of his hard work could have been worth nothing. He spent hours upon hours making that one arm, and then just trying to get the nervous system right for it. That was the tricky part. It's almost funny in a way. If he was never there at his university that day, finishing up that project, the two probably would have never met. So it's just kind of, yeah, a lot to take in for him. Now, Deku, he does just remember the dates. The date these two met is actually very close to Mirko's birthday now that he does think about it. And then there's the fact that it's almost been 10 months. It's currently early December. And Deku, he does at least try to think. As he does pull up to the lab, go through security, and input some passwords, and even fingerprint scans. Now, after all that is said and done, Deku does walk into his lab and go to his personal lab. Now, Deku, he's arrived very early, as he does go to open a file and completely start something new. Now, Deku, he is trying to brainstorm projects and certain ideas, looking through some previous folders he's created, and trying to base off of there or even improve upon those ideas, with the money and funding he does currently now have. Now, with that being said, we do actually cut to a few hours later, where somebody they do go to knock on the door to his lab, and Deku, he doesn't really answer it. As the person they do actually go to look to the right and go to press the red button. Now, whenever this button does actually get pressed, you do actually have inside Deku's lab, where he's listening to music through headphones, and all of a sudden a bright light does just pop up. Now, Deku, he does go to look up and towards the corner, as that light is flashing, and he does go to take off one of his headphones before turning around and walking over to his door, as he does go to open it. Hello? Mr. Midoriya? Or Mr. Bakugo? Yes, that's me. Well, the information you gave me the other day. I've been looking through it, and I've found difficulties, to say the least. You have? Yes, I have. I'm trying to help you track these women down exactly. Why is that, though? Many of these women who've answered the phone, they don't really seem keen to talk too much about Hisashi Midoriya. Yes, I'm very sorry if you've encountered some troubles with that. Um, well, the reason why I'm having you contact them is pretty simple, but it's also oddly personal. Really, Mr. Bakugo? Yes, it is. Hisashi Midoriya, he's a man who he's well, he's my birth father. Oh, and these women here, you're contacting them because my father was never in my life. I wish to know if these women have either information or either have children. Children? My father got around. Oh, yes. Now, please try to avoid Hisashi Midori and ask about them first. Let them know the reason why you're calling is because they wish to know any information, or even if they do possibly have children, with a man named Hisashi Midoriya. Now, this is actually where Deku's assistant, she does go to walk away. And she does try to formulate the best way to put that into words. Hi, I'm calling today because I want to know whether or not you had a one night stand with a guy and got pregnant. How do you put that into a polite and kind way? At least, that's what's going through her head, as she does actually go to look back towards Deku's lap as the door did close. Mr. Bakugo seems a little bit more muscular. That's kind of odd. He's a very lean man. However, he seemed a little bit more bulky whenever she got a good look at his arms. Now, with that, we do currently have back at Deku, where inside of his lab, he does go to do a few things. Deku going to walk back over to the hollow table, as he does go to start moving his hands around, and creating 3D models and even certain things. Now, Deku, yeah, he does do a lot today. And there is actually where he did have an idea that could possibly help. Now, Deku, he wanted to find out a lot more information. And since he does, or he is technically rich, he can't afford to toss a little bit of that money around. So he does actually try giving a few of these numbers phone calls himself. Now, Deku, after the first person does answer the phone, Deku does at least explain why he's calling. Explain to them that his name is Izuku Bakugo, and he's calling regarding any information on a man named Hisashi Midoriya that would be able to provide him. Now, the person, they do actually somewhat berate Deku. And yeah, after Deku, he does explain that Hisashi Midoriya is his father, and that he's calling in regards to information they may have on him. The people on the other end of the line, they do seem a little bit more understanding, as he's trying to find out whether or not he may have brothers or sisters. And some of the people, they actually do try to explain, or even really tell Deku yes or no questions. Now, Deku, he doesn't really feel like he got anywhere. And he does just try to think. He's given probably about a third of these phone numbers a call. And with that, not really a lot of people have answered his questions. He's either gotten a, yes, I know Hisashi Midoriya, this is how we met, this is what happened, vaguely about that, or he's just gotten, no, I don't want anything to do with that man, and I don't care about him. All he did was leave the next morning, and that was the end of it. Now, Deku, he does find out a little bit more information about his father, including the fact that he may have actually ruined 2 or 3 marriages. Now, Deku, yeah, this kinda didn't help his opinion. And there was whenever he actually did go to give another phone number a call, and the person did pick up on the other end of the line. Hello? Yes, hello. I'm calling regarding any information on Hisashi Midoriya. Before you hang up, please hear me out. I do not wish to speak about that man. I understand. It's a very tender and sensitive subject for me as well. Why are you calling about him? I haven't seen that man in literal years. Almost a decade. Or not even a decade, 2. What do you want? Listen, ma'am, please. My name is Izuku Bakugo. I'm his son. Why is his son calling me? You see, well, that's the thing. I was hoping to understand some information about my father, and I'm calling regarding to see if you may or may not have had a kid with him. Now, the person at the other end of the line, they do fall dead silent, as they do ask exactly why would he like to know that? Hmm? Well, I'm Hisashi Midoriya's son. My name is Izuku Katsuki, but that's a different reason. I didn't want to take his name. Please, I would just like to know. Verify my feeling I have. I would also like to let them know that Hisashi Midori is dying, and if they do wish to meet their father, they need to come here very soon. Now, the woman, she does fall silent once more, before at least explaining to Deku that yes, yes, she has a daughter. And Deku is almost taken aback by that. A sister? He has a sister. Uh, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? I have a daughter. She's currently around the age of 20 years old. I've never spoken to her once about her father. She has asked questions, but I've avoided the subject. And actually, I feel like this may be a bit of punishment for me. Hmm? I'm sorry, why would that be? Asashi Midoriya was a very kind man, and to hear that is some sad news. He helped me out. He actually was very kind to me. Was he? From the impression I got on him, he's not like that at all. You're his son, correct? Yes. How old would you happen to be? I'm going to be 24 in July. Ah, I see, I see. Well, that's sort of funny. Is it? Yes, it is actually. I'm kind of just surprised that you really took the time to call. Why wouldn't I? Well, I just. Your name is Zukuma or Bakugo. You're that famous inventor, aren't you? Yes, yes, ma'am, I am. If you need help with anything, expenses for travel, a car, or just in general, please let me know. The phone number you're currently calling me on is my personal phone. And I would actually love to meet my little sister. Yeah, alright. I'll sit her down and try to talk to her. Now, Deku, after that phone call, he is actually very surprised. After composing himself for a minute after he stopped panicking, he does could actually call the rest of the numbers. And results, they seem to be sort of good? Question mark. From what he can tell, most of these women, after cussing him out, they just said no. And there was that one who she did actually at least provide him with an answer. Okay, so far as he knows, one sibling. Oh god, this is gonna be awkward. Now, Deku he does leave his lab a bit early, as whenever he does go to leave, people they do actually watch him quickly go. Him getting out the door and driving back home. Now, Deku, whenever he does get back home, he does at least sit down and explain the situation to Mirko. And Mirko, she's kind of taken out of left field for a second. He's a brother. Oh, he's a big brother. That's wow. Okay. I I don't really know what to say to you, but I mean, that's good. Yeah, Mirko, I was hoping you can give me some tips on this. Now, Mirko, she does actually sit down next to Deku, and she's going to actually wrap an arm around him, asking him exactly what might he mean by that. Um, well, I don't mean to sound rude or bad with this, but you don't really talk too much about your own family. Don't you have any brothers or sisters? I mean, not trying to sound rude, but your quirk. Oh, um, I do, yeah. I mean, I could call my mom, but I know if I call her, she'll be a little bit gun ho. Will she? Yeah, and then there's my dad. My dad, he's sort of a lot worse. Strict parents make sneaky kids. Oh god, that sounds bad. Yeah, and then there's actually my little brother. You have a little brother. Yeah, yeah, I do. I've sort of avoided the subject of my family for a while. I'm, well, it's just they're very intense, even by my standards, and they really did not want me to become a pro hero. So there's that. They thought I wouldn't be very good. But you're you're in the top 50. I know. But even then, they they thought I was a joke. My dad, he just he's fucking hell. I don't even know where to start with him. My mom, she was worse. She never understood me. She never listened to me, and she constantly wanted me to just be a bit more girly. Man, my little brother, he's not any better. He never treats me like a serious person. He thought it would be funny to mess with me all the time. So, the moment I could and I started becoming a pro hero, after I got done with school, I immediately took the first job offer that got me out of that town. That's wow. I mean, that's just surprising. Yeah, I know. I sort of wish I could have told you this a different way, but you're a big brother. You have a sister. Are you going to tell your father? Yeah, I don't even really know how to explain that. Hi, I'm Izuku Bakugo, your big brother. I'm a multi-millionaire who just so happens to know our father. I'm calling you after not knowing you our entire lives to tell you he's dying. Every time I try to think about how the conversation would go, I don't see how it could turn out good, Mirko. Rumi, this doesn't seem like a good idea. I mean, granted, she probably does want to meet him. She's probably had questions her entire life about him. But the fact is, she's suddenly going to find out her big brother is famous. And she has one. Fuck me. I don't know what to do. With work, with my dad, with just everything going on, I feel like I just need to sit down and relax. Now, Mirko, she does actually ask Deku if he does want to just sit down and watch a movie. Now, Deku, he does look at Mirko, as he does see the expression on her face. She's calmed down right now. Is the effect finally wearing off? Christ, I hope so. Shit, the way she's been running me ragged, along with work. I don't even really know. This is a lot more difficult than I did think. Now, Deku he does look towards Mirko, as he does is talk about how he would love to just sit down and watch a movie. And then afterwards, he does actually want to start back up on some of his training. Hmm? Training? Yeah. I mean, I've thought about getting into better shape, you know? I mean, my body fat isn't that much higher than most competitive athletes or people who do, try to look nice. I've thought about it before. I'm more like a lean muscle type. Sure, I do work out kinda by moving heavy equipment in the labs and such, but there's only so much that can really do. And your muscles can get used to that. So I've thought about, lifting weights, getting a bit stronger. Now, Deku he does look at Mirko, as she does actually talk about how she was wondering why he's looked a little bit different. Really? It's already noticeable? I mean, granted, on my breaks in my lab, I do work out. I mean, I kind of did some of that earlier. I've been doing a lot more running sometimes with some tests in our lab. I've even tried lifting makeshift weights out of lead, and I actually have, well, I kind of don't really need to, but I have been trying to do some endurance training. Really? Yeah. Then again, if there's one thing I've gotten a lot more of from knowing you, it's been endurance. Well, maybe we'll put that strength to the test one day. Okay. Well, as much as I like where this is going, I'm really tired. So, can we just watch the movie and try to relax? Yeah, we can. Don't worry about it. It's just been a very, very weird day. Yeah, you got that right. Now, Deku and Mirko, they do actually get a bit of things ready. They make some nice tea. They find a movie they both like and agree on. They sit together and more or less just cuddle up with each other under a blanket. And they go about the rest of the night. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.